Growing out of Cape Town, South Africa, a vast network of highways spreads out across the Western Cape Province. The N2 is the country's longest tarred road, running the length of South Africa's coast before turning inland to the economic heartland of Gauteng. The N1 is the Cape's busiest road, with stretches carrying up to 150,000 vehicles per day. The R27 traverses the harsh west coast before linking with the N7, which stretches northwards to the desert border with Namibia. Dedicated to keeping these roads safe and traffic flowing are the men and women of the Western Cape Highway Patrol. In this episode, we meet Provincial Inspector Stephnie Ruiters on the West Coast, where everyone seems to have a story to tell.
De Arendse van die eerste maand.
Senior Provincial Inspector Timochengco Hofmeester deals with the trauma of attending horrific crash scenes and losing a colleague, while SPI Valentino, Arendse and rescue services manage the chaos of a rush hour crash on the N1. The N1 highway links Cape Town with its populous northern suburbs before continuing into the country's heartland and carries heavy volumes of both commuter and freight traffic, keeping Senior Provincial Inspector Valentino Arendse and his colleagues constantly on their toes as they strive to keep this busy highway safe.
We had the N1 way bridge today, so we will be doing patrol duties and our focus will be driver and vehicle fitness. Up until 11 o'clock we need to be at Zoonstraal for the K78 roadblock. I wanted to bring a change into our road fatalities, reducing that numbers and accident scenes, and just having a bigger impact by physically being part of traffic law enforcement. And now I'm studying further Bachelor in Policing Practice. So where I see myself is more on a tactical level, which is RD. Information gives you knowledge, and from knowledge you can make decisions. I'm gonna pull over the Mini Cooper. The reason why, because he has cut in front of me over the channelizing line to take the exit. Good day, ma'am. How are you? Can you please put on the mask, please? The reason why I stopped the ma'am is because there before you took this exit, you crossed that line, which you may not cross, eh? So unfortunately, you're gonna get the fine for that, ma'am. Can I please see your driver's license? Like I always tell people, the apologies aren't genuine, man. It's like when I stop a guy at the cell phone, it's like, he's just saying sorry for the sake of saying sorry, but the real actual fact, because of that driving behavior, I could have caused something worse. So how am I going to change that behavior of the driver? Here we go, ma'am. Please drive safely.
Back on patrol, SPI Arendse is experiencing a strong sense of deja vu.
So it's another mini. Look like minis are talking today. Good morning, ma'am. How are you? Good, ma'am. The reason why I stopped the ma'am is because we don't have a front number plate on.
What do you mean?
There's no number plate on the front, ma'am. This is your vehicle? It's your mom's vehicle. Can I please have your driver's license, ma'am? I can stand more on that side. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to issue a fine for the number plate because it's very important to have. Unfortunately, you're going to have to show that out to the mom, eh? She was playing that role like, what? She's acting surprised that the number plate is not on, but you could see like the number plate hasn't been on. It hasn't been on for a while. It's not like it's a new, I tell her this morning. But she got the fine, so she's gone.
Number plates are crucial for traffic and other law enforcement agencies to trace vehicles involved in traffic incidents or being used for criminal activities. SPI Arendse doesn't rest for a minute, and the next driver he pulls over is clearly in a hurry and reluctant to stop. When the driver eventually pulls over, his half-baked excuse leaves SPI Valentino uncharacteristically speechless.
What's the reason for the rush?
I got brains, it's so warm. I'm gonna take it to the work function in Philippi.
So you are rushing because brains at the home, sir.
Yeah.
So you're driving inconsiderately.
And the police pulled me over.
Warm breads seems like a poor reason for failing to use indicators, driving negligently, and without a license.
You're already driving a lot. I mean, this times of financial trouble, you know?
You can approach the court regarding that. At the court, there will be a prosecutor, the only person who can reduce the fine for you. You're gonna be pulled over, yeah.
The next culprit clearly knows he's breaking the rules and casts a guilty look before eventually ditching his cell phone. He seems to think he may still sneak off, but SPI Arendse is having none of it.
Gelukkig die rede hoekom die afgetrek het was, nee, omdat nie op die cellfoon was nie. Ek het al die hele tyd al langs meneer, hy gee my 'n lakans my cellfoon, dit is maar meneer is binne in hy cellfoon. It's always seen to the public as, traffic officers, they just give out fines. Proud moment would be for motorists, compliment for doing a good job. There is actually motorists that are proud for what you are doing. He was stopped because he was on the cell phone, and when I got to him as well, he didn't have a safety belt. People still forget about the safety belt thing and don't take it as serious as they should. But I think when they see accident scenes where people are injured badly due to not wearing a safety belt, I think that will change their minds. So because safety belts do save lives.
It's been a busy morning, and SPI Arendse is making his way to join his colleagues for a scheduled roadblock when he's alerted to a crash on the N1. It's 8:45 a.m. and a motorcyclist and car have collided. Predictably, the motorcyclist has come off worse. Rescue services have been quick to respond, and one lane has been closed while paramedics stabilize the biker and assess the extent of his injuries. It's the tail end of morning rush hour on the Cape's busiest highway, and although the crash happened on the outbound lanes, traffic into the city is bumper to bumper as rubberneckers slow down to take a look. Making matters worse, it's the day before a public holiday, and traffic on the outbound lanes is heavier than normal, as many Cape Townians start their long weekend early. As SPI Arendse fights his way to the scene, his frustration shows as he clears the obstructed emergency lane of vehicles hampering rescue efforts.
What are you doing here? This is the shoulder. You must be there.
It's Monday morning in Worcester, and SPI Timochengco Hofmeester is heading out on patrol.
Every Monday morning I'm nervous because it's the start of a new week, everybody's on the roads, and it's like early morning crashes, something in me that nothing big must happen on Monday mornings. When you go through a day where nothing bad happens, it's a blessing. Then there comes days that you get like 3 accident scenes or 5 accident scenes, which is not a nice picture to come onto. There are a lot of crashes is happening on the N1. Driving from Worcester to the Dorings to Toes River.
To reduce crashes on the roads, SPI Timochengco and colleagues regularly conduct random vehicle stop and check operations, but not everyone appreciates their efforts to keep the roads safe.
I've experienced that female officers that's more difficult outside when they are alone between other motorists because it's like they can take a chance now just to get out of the fine or something like that. As I dankie, môre veilig wees. We are not enemies to the public. We are there to talk to them. We are there to listen because I'm a human as well. I also go through stuff in my personal life. And it's not that I'm a robot, that I don't have feelings or stuff. Het jy 'n masker?
Baie dankie mevrou.
Die hele tussen julle twee, né? Okay. I'm taking you to the R43 on the Verliesdorp Road. It was somewhere in December last year, 2020. We had an accident there at 10:50. It was early in the morning, 1 male, 1 female, and then a baby. I think the baby was about 7 months. I rushed to that scene, got there was no ambulance, only the tow truck was there. So when I got here, the vehicle was on its roof. In the field there, the lady was 2 meters away from the vehicle. The guy of the towing company comforted the baby. I went to her because I can't move her. I don't know what is broken of her. And I told her that the ambulance is on its way. We are here to help them. We are here to comfort them. We are not just law enforcement officers. We are peace officers. The father was very emotional because he was thinking that it's his fault that the accident happened. Like he explained to me, he asked her to give his cell phone and he just looked away for 1 minute. That's why it's for utmost important that your eyes must be on the road all the time because you never know what happened. Something can happen in a split second. When I have to respond to a scene, it's like, I hope it's not one of my family members. I hope it's not somebody that I know. I hope it's not a close friend of mine because I wouldn't know how I would deal with that. I'm gonna take you to another scene where 5 people died. Control room phoned us about this accident and we didn't know it was one of her brother. Yes, it was a brother that also died on the scene. Bucky was like here, but in half. The bodies were spreading. And then one guy's hair was still stuck in front of the truck's front side. It's not that I don't show my emotion anymore, but it's normal for me nowadays to come on a scene like 5 fatalities and they didn't make it. But yeah, I got used to getting to scenes like this. When it's 2 or more persons that's declared dead on the scene, the stakeholders that was on the scene, like EMS, like the police officers, like traffic officers, all of those go to a session where you talk about what happened that specific day so you can actually express your emotions. Talking to somebody, for me, it doesn't actually help. It's real life outside, it's real trauma, everything is real. Dealing with trauma is a whole different level if you just talk to somebody but you can't get over it. On the 16th of October, I was off duty that day, but we got a call that one of our colleagues is in an accident. He said that it looks really bad. He doesn't think that he's going to make it. Me and Willis, we came a long way. We had a confirmation at church together. We matriculated the same school. And between me and him, we were the youngest on the station. And I think we lost a really good person. Everybody was at the hospital, but when the news hit us that he didn't make it, it was like everything stood still. Outside, you have to show the people that you are strong. And that's what makes it actually difficult because people see you outside as a strong person, as a strong woman. But when I go to bed at night, I cry myself to sleep.
Back on the N1, paramedics are frantically working to stabilize the patient and determine the extent of his injuries. Police and traffic services do all they can to keep traffic flowing and prevent further crashes. The biker's condition is serious, and the paramedics are concerned that his injuries could prove fatal if he doesn't get to a hospital soon. It's only 13 kilometers to the nearest hospital, but in this traffic, that might be 13 kilometers too far, and the paramedics are considering calling for a helicopter to medevac the patient.
Color code is red, which means it's a serious injury, which he has sustained from the accident.
The Cape West Coast is renowned for its fertile fishing grounds, dazzling spring flowers, wide open spaces, and the port of Saldanha, the largest and deepest natural port in the Southern Hemisphere.
Today we are at the Provincial Traffic Services in Friedenberg. We're heading out to the R27. It comes from Cape Town straight to the West Coast. That's why it's also called the West Coast Road. And we have our national park there, so it's a long road.
A great day is when you know you get someone off the road to keep other people safe. And a great day is also having fun. When we patrol, it's like 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. We intend to keep our road safe by just the blue lights, the visibility of the lights. So on this road, we have our ASO3 cameras, average speed over distance, or the speed has been calculated from one camera to another camera. According to the time, you can calculate the speed that the vehicle was driving. So the camera picks up if the vehicle is unroadworthy, if it's unlicensed, if the vehicle's license is in the warning, if the vehicle has been stolen or scrapped, or the police mark on the vehicle, and the vehicle also has been speeding. The location where we are is the TR771/1. We're at kilometer 111 on the R27 West Coast Road. When something happens, when your life is in danger, when there's an accident, you must know where you are.
Information from the average speed over distance cameras is relayed directly to the inspectors' in-car computers and handheld devices, alerting them in real time to any traffic infringements.
The cameras are so clear. Like for this vehicle now, I can see it's 2 males and none of them in front are wearing the seatbelts.
Conflict. Sorry, kom na uit die pad asseblief. According to this driver, the blue vehicle was driving recklessly and he just confronted.
I overtake the one lorry and he came past me, around the lorry and in front of me. I talked to him now and he said, didn't realize that. So I said, well, if you want to kill yourself, do it to the other place, not here. Because it's very dangerous.
As reg meneer, lekker daaroor. You have to consult, you have to listen. You must be a psychologist, you must be a mother. You must tell them, please wear your seatbelt. Please put on your lights when it's dark. Please put on your hazards.
A driver with a delivery of portable toilets is hopelessly lost, and PI Ruiters and colleagues are unfamiliar with the farm he's searching for.
Yes.
Because that's a good 10 kilometers from Arendse.
Ek gaan nou die polisiestasie bel, ja. Hulle sal van Pieter weet.
It turns out that this driver has taken a wrong turn and is 100 kilometers away from his destination. Anyone waiting for the toilet is going to have to hold on for a bit longer.
Travel safe then.
We help them find their way on the road. At the end of the day, you don't want a guy from Cape Town being stranded on our road. Safety first and then get the people where they need to be so that our roads can be clear as well.
Every day is a surprise. Every day.
Over the years, PI Ruiters has developed a sixth sense for identifying dodgy drivers and getting to the truth of their unlikely stories.
Daar ry meneer, waar is meneer se license? Meneer se kar. Ek kan maar met 'n man ry wat license het. Maar u sit nou agter die stuurwiel. Hoe sê mevrou? Sê ma. Nou sê ma moet mos vir hom vra waar sy license is as hy man inklim. En hoekom dra maar nie 'n seatbelt nie? According to my suspicion, something just didn't seem right. Die breker kan maar alleen wanneer die batterij is los. Die nummerplaat wanneer, die mos 'n bike se nummerplaat. When I asked him, he told me he had a license. But the moment you ask them again, they can see that you know something is off. Je mag net 3 plekke gaan. Huis, mechanic, toetsstasie. Nee? Geen passasiers.
PI Ruiters removes the vehicle's license disc and it will now need to pass a roadworthy test before being allowed back on the streets. In addition, the driver is fined for driving without a license, not wearing safety belts, and driving an unregistered, unroadworthy vehicle.
There is a licensed driver in the vehicle. That person drove the car. I told him to turn around and go back to where he comes from. Driver drove the other way to where he's going to. So I'm just going to follow him and tell him to turn around and get back.
As PI Ruiters chases down the unroadworthy vehicle, she has to exercise extreme caution. Even with flashing lights and blaring siren, many motorists are reluctant to give way.
I truly believe and I have faith that I will get him. Because he must go back to darling. Halala. Told you I will get him. Got him. Nou, ek moet ek eintlik nou vir u arresteer, mos nou vir dat. Nee? So ongelukkig, moenie maar omdraai en terug gaan darling toe. En die voertuig is onpadvaardig, meneer. Nee? Ah, sê meneer. Lekker dag.
With this unroadworthy vehicle now safely off the road, PI raters can return to monitoring traffic on the R27.
Ooh, Yana.
The average speed over distance cameras alert PI raters to a speeding vehicle, and she's keeping a sharp lookout for the culprit.
I just want to make sure if it's him. It's him, it's 10 minutes.
The speeding driver tries to get clever and sneak past, but they're not going to get away that easily with PI raters on the job.
Okay, there it goes. Because you can't drive 140 kilometers per hour in a 120 zone here on the R27. I have to do what I need to do. He's going because he knows I'm behind him. At the end of the day, when it comes to the job, I am really sorry. That's it. Goeiedag, ek is mevrou Ruiters in die provinsiale verkeer. Mevrou, u word gestop omdat u 'n bietjie gespoed het op die R27. Ek is nie seker ek gaan dit net gou-gou wys, né? Die eerste een.
With the evidence from the average speed over distance cameras at her fingertips, it's easy to show the driver that there's been no mistake.
So in a rush. So the driver was going 141 and 134 kilometers per hour at the two cameras. Driver also refused the sign. You can't make a person sign. I don't know what the reason might be, because like she said when I came to her, I am guilty. Hello, sir. Provincial Inspector, routine check. Can I see your driver's license, your permit?
PI Rater's bubbly personality and positive approach wins hearts and minds as she strives to keep West Coast commuters safe on the roads.
But all I need from you now is to just fasten your seatbelt. Jacqueline, alsjeblieft. Driver? You know, ne?
The next driver she stops is guilty of not wearing a seatbelt and failing to produce a driver's license.
Het jy enigiets gehad wat alcohol betref? Miskien sosiaal verjaard agter die counter?
As PI Raters writes out the fine, this unique individual provides some roadside entertainment, including a special magic trick.
Ek haal my vinger van my lyf af.
Hi? Meneer. Hi, meneer.
Ek is pro-driver.
Al ry jy so 'n lisensie.
Ek sê my lisensie in my vrou se handsak. Ek vra om verskoning daarvoor. Ek het dan nie eens besef nie.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy your day. Drive safely and be safe.
Sorry for not having my stuff on me.
Maak vas.
Back on the N1, paramedics fear the biker may be suffering from internal injuries, and the decision is made to close the N1 outbound and call in the helicopter.
The N1 was closed. Yeah, but that outgoing accident, 1050, for a chopper to land, ends the traffic picking up the R300 in the N1 direction path, for the chopper will take off soon.
With the injured biker safely on his way to hospital and N1 traffic flowing, SPI Arendse joins his colleagues at the Sonstraal roadblock. Next episode, we join Senior Provincial Inspector Swanepoel for an extremely busy night in Worcester, which could end badly as he knows all too well.
Chief!
While PI Matiwane's patience is stretched to its limits, keeping pedestrians safe on the N2. While each experiences an extremely different night shift, both end up at their local police station.